Hello, folks. I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansakwao, the fourth chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa, probably the only republic within the republic that refuses to leave the republic. Yeah, no. And I say, thank God it's Monday. Another wonderful opportunity to meet and perform one of radio's most important ritual. A ritual that stimulates our mind, a ritual that educates us, gets us thinking, and pushes us to do better. And certainly that's the aim for today. At this time, you want to call a friend, you want to share it on all your platforms, tell somebody to tell somebody, and make a date at this time every Monday, only on Joy 99.7 FM. So let us all gather and make truth good. Our topic today, the empty leading the unfilled. The empty leading the unfilled. Folks, when Ghana found oil, the legendary George Owusu, after trying and never giving up, eventually struck oil. Him and his partners went to then President J.A. Kufuor, went to the castle. In their hands was a little jar, and in the jar was this dark, oily substance, which some political, bashing said, in any case, it was oil. They poured a bit onto a plate, amidst media frenzy, excitement in the nation. Ghana had struck oil. Black gold was finally here. The new dawn was beckoning. We were happy. Folks, our fortunes have changed. We struck the lotto. This was 6 Miludu. This is it. Yeah, baby. I remember the opinion I did, even though I can't remember the title, but I remember the content of the opinion. In that opinion, folks, I said we have to do two things. 2, save the oil and really build local capacity. Send students around the world and wherever it is that they are doing oil and gas and get them to master it. From cleaning, opening of the gates to owning, blocks and production of the oil. All facets of this oil business, even the medical aspect, the production of materials and tools, whatever it is. Let us really equip ourselves. And once we are done, we get our people in the business. That was my first one. Number 2, if we're not going to do that, if we don't have the patience, and we're going to sell the oil, then we should use the revenue. We should invest heavily in education. And this was my proposal then. And this was about 2007. Folks, I said, let us send lots of teachers. Send them to Singapore to go and learn how it is that they are good at maths. How they teach it, how they get the children to love it, and how the children, embrace it, and they're leading in mathematics. Send teachers there to go and learn how to teach maths. Folks, send a whole bunch to Germany to learn skills and vocation. Find out how it is they started, the history behind it, the spirit behind it. India is leading ICT, so why not send teachers to India? How come they are producing so many ICT students that if you go to all Silicon Valleys, it's filled with Indians? Send teachers there. Sweden for early childhood training. Send people to Israel to learn agric. How it is that they are harvesting tomatoes in rocks. Hey, we have fertile lands. So whatever it is they learn in Israel, when they come back home to apply it, this will be a haven. Basically, folks, send people around the world to master the subjects that they are good in. They should go and train to whatever level. If it's PhD level, it is whatever it is. Send them there. Equip them so that they can come back home to teach and train teachers. Folks, reset the education structure that has been left for us that basically makes us Europeans. By the time we finish school, we are all Europeans, whether we like it or not. Ube school, no other than Bruni. So we reset it so that by the time you finish school, you are a complete black Ghanaian and African. Heart and mind, soul, complete African. Folks, I then said history. Not history. Because this is where our children will find the pride and love for what it is that they have. That is what stops somebody from walking from the tropical Ghana to Libya to look for greener pastures. They said, no, that the biggest irony. You leave the tropical forest Ghana across the Sahara Desert to look for greener pastures. It tells you that you don't know what you have. Folks, we must take out the politically biased history that is looming around, get good-minded people to sit down and rewrite the history and teach children about their roots. And if I was doing this show today, then by all means we should send teachers to countries that are doing good in AI and coding, because that's the future. Now, after we have equipped the teachers, we then unleash our unfilled students or children onto them. After we have heavily invested in the teachers, I wasn't too bothered about school. And they say, do you ask as a teacher, and the teacher is well equipped, you'll be surprised what they will produce. You'll be surprised what they will produce. And then get in the infrastructure, but at least get teachers who are equipped, well motivated and equipped teachers before, folks, and I use the word advisedly, unleash our children onto them. Folks, in all of this, I remember saying that we must pay attention to the teachers who take up the early years. Folks, they should be experts in their field. They should be masters in their field. They should be A-star students like the ones that go to medical school. Well exposed, well balanced, very confident, well paid. And they should have that nurturing character. They shouldn't be there because it's well paid, but they should naturally have that nurturing character, which today you can easily fish out by doing a psychological test to tell you who has a nurturing character and who hasn't. The research aspect of universities should be well funded. Folks, all this on the bedrock of our culture, so that language would expand. Well, this is what I was thinking about with regard to free education, 2007. So that we are guaranteed that the children who come out of the system will be useful to the future of the nation. Which, folks, has to be deliberate. Currently, folks, we live as though everything is just centered about like the middle age. When you're around the middle age, that's when everything seems to work well for you, your security, everything. But when you are a child, when you are old, there isn't much protection from the nation for you. And so we must be deliberate. So, folks, when the news came out that, about 6,000 out of 7,000 teachers, could not pass their exams to get into the classroom, it was frightening. It was frightening. Which means that we are still thinking that those who don't quite cut it should go into education. Those who are looking for a better job but haven't found it yet should just use teaching as a stepping stone. My God. Stepping stone. The teacher is in the classroom. He doesn't want to be here. He says that, Onya the person in the classroom. And yet, he's got like 25, 30, 20 children in front of him or her. Doing what? Doing what? And we are fixated about the numbers. Folks, when they go to the TV shows and the radio shows and you are listening to the banter, it's all about the numbers. We send X amount to school and they send X amount to school and that send that. Just the numbers. Folks, what is more frightening is, as these elections are going on and by-elections are going on and all the craze is on by-elections and street lights are coming up and roads and gutters are being dug out and all these are happening, folks, not one candidate. Maybe I'm wrong, and when you come to the phone and I'm wrong, I will apologize. But I have not heard one candidate even bother to put out a plan of how to mitigate this danger. That this is what I will put in to equip teachers to make sure that when they are confronted or when they are giving students, we are guaranteed some decent students in the future. If they are talking about teachers, oh, I'll give you grant, I'll pay you. I'll pay the teachers, I'll give teacher allowance. If they are talking about teachers, that is it. Teacher allowance. But folks, what is even worse is that we, the electorate, have not also stopped them in their tracks to say, hey, Mr. Politician, stop. How is it that you're going to fix this looming danger? Here is a country with the population spiraling out of control, and yet there are not trainers, teachers, leaders, wards equipped enough to shape these children for the future. We haven't stopped them in their tracks to ask them, how are you going to fix this looming danger? So folks, you see these shameless, and I must say shameless opportunists. You see pictures every day, right? And they're sitting in their open-top luxury cars. And then outside of the car are hundreds and hundreds of cheap motorcycles following. Some are ready to even fight or hurt anyone for them. And I'm sure they look back and they're thinking, what fools. Here I am in my luxury car. My children are attending top schools with, high-class teachers, and I'm paying for it. Your children don't even have chairs in their classrooms. Your children don't even have chairs. Akonya. Yet you're ready to hurt people and fight for me. In Triyebeka say, Ejimi for. In Triyebeka say, Ejimi for. The guys who say, Bulu. Complete bull. Why? Folks, I'm sure that's what goes through their mind. That must be what goes through their mind. They must be thinking, why are these people so fixated about me? I haven't given you good schools. I haven't given you good teachers. I haven't given you anything. I've come here in all my glory. I am sharing money. You don't even know where I got the money from, giving cutlass, Wellington boots, rice, oil. But still, you're riding your motorbikes and following me. Hey, honorable this, honorable that, honorable. And yes, I can ye honorable, ye chasso, honorable. Then, but honorable, no will be an open top. And then we are there riding these cheap bikes. Me. Wow. So, folks, here we are with empty teachers leading the unfilled minds of our children What are they The teacher is already empty. On to me passing the exam, he's not well exposed. He hasn't read white. And we have brought a blank mind. Say, fill that mind with your emptiness. Don't get me wrong, folks. There are some good teachers in this country. My God. There are some good teachers in this country, dedicated. And, in front of all the constraints and everything, you'll be surprised how they are pushing and pushing and pushing. So don't get me wrong. But there are a great deal of weapons of mass destruction out there. And they are causing havoc. And we sit and we watch and we are shouting, honorable, honorable, honorable. So now everybody is praying that my MP will die, so honorable will come, and at least 1 or 2 potholes will be filled, some school will be paid. Bibi Kakra, until the voting comes there, something will happen now until they vote, and then they'll leave you and go. For us to change our path to the future, folks, we must be deliberate. You and I must demand. Because you hear, this time, every politician talk, Nanado has, messed the economy. So when I come, I'm going to fix the economy. Nanado didn't bring jobs. So when I come, I'll fix the economy with who? With the guy on the motorbike? How well have you equipped them to help you fix the economy? And the economy will just be fixed by thin air. Economy is fixed by if we have skills and jobs and knowledge and we are producing and exporting. That is how you fix the economy. But what have you impacted them to be able to contribute to this economy that you're going to fix? Fix it with who? I will create jobs. What job? I will create jobs. What job? Folks, if I were to bring some IT, center here and says, I need, 20,000 IT people or 30,000 IT people. Because these are the numbers that you need to make a change. I need 100,000 IT people to come to a Silicon Valley so that we are doing wonders. I need underground welders so that ships that are crossing the Atlantic will come, will dive and weld the ships. Where are you going to get the underground welders from? So when you say you create jobs for who? And what job? Or buying and selling, lifting, or opening and closing gate. What job are you going to create? Focus here, even if just driving, if like go to your town and just driving, and go to any town and say, I want 30 people with driving license to come, so I give them a driving job. So just driving, simple driving. And not nurses, not doctors, not lawyers, just driver. Nipa send or driving license, na yamo majuma. You'll be shocked. So folks, we must stop. And we must pay attention to the sort of education we are putting or investing in. Because that's what's going to guarantee our future. So that the kids don't get too violent. And we have built walls so high. I don't know how high we're going to build these walls anymore. I don't know how much voltage we're going to put in the wires that we put around our houses anymore. But we're going to get to a point where we probably need an armor tank in front of your house to ward off criminals. Because man must survive. But if the man is not employable, how do you think that man survives? It's 0302 216 541. I'm sure you have a lot more to say. I'm sure you have a lot more to say. But we must invest in the teacher before you put the children in front of the teacher. Well, who's my first caller?
Well, this is Benjamin from Adenta.
Benjamin, let me hear you.
Yeah, the jobs must be created. Mm-hmm. The people are there. Yeah. I disagree with you.
No.
We have
what I'm saying. No, Benjamin, hold on. I am saying you must equip equip the person before you give them the job. I'm not saying
Yes,
that don't
we
create
have
the
equipped
job.
them. So many graduates today can do wonders. And I tell you what, there are Ghanaians today working with multinational companies abroad. They're just taking IT courses online, stack development, among PHP, among others.
Are you telling me if I build a Silicon Valley and I said I need 100,000 IT personnel, you can find them for me?
Yes, we'll get them.
From where?
They are here. So many of them.
Okay.
I think that the thing is we keep blaming our educational institutions are doing fantastic. I have friends who are studying in the UK, America. They didn't got full scholarships by virtue of just doing their undergraduate studies here. The thing is, the jobs are not being created for the people. Now, if somebody, the wrong text, so you were talking about, actually, I think today you mentioned so many things, so I don't know how to even proceed, because you talk about teachers as well.
Let me summarize. I am just saying you must equip teachers before you give them students.
Of course, you are right on that. So there's a plethora of problems, but let me just touch on the job bit. I think that it is the responsibility of us all to create jobs, and people who put themselves forward as politicians. In America, Joe Biden made sure he fulfilled his promise of creating a lot of jobs. If you go to Delaware right now, there are so many jobs. So why can't we do same? Over here, we are not doing it, and then we keep blaming our graduates here and there. And I disagree totally on that score, because if you come and even just look at our educational institutions, the kinds of graduates that some of them are producing are very good graduates that are fit for the job market, but the employer will not employ, and then they turn around, those who go and get some fake honorary doctorate, call themselves doctors, that I don't employ certificates, and that ends it, and nobody is employed. And that is bad. I mean, we have people here who can work. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Let's see what others will say. 030221. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
I hope you're doing well, Nana.
I am very well.
And I always try to disagree with you, but I listen to you critically. There's no way I can disagree. Nana, it's very appalling, it's very pathetic that we are paying to leave our children in the hands of unqualified teachers. And what is happening is there is no job in the country. So people will take it upon themselves to go for teacher training, because from there you'll be posted and have your job. Is it a calling that you used to know, or because of there's no job? And one certain is, and as you have been educated a bit, you try to coach your child whenever he or she comes with assignments. But because of the confidence they have in the teacher, they will tell you that our teacher says you do it this way, don't do it this way. Nana. So the question is, how do these teachers qualify? Because every year we graduate people from tertiary institutions. The question is, how do they qualify? And what are we going to ask the teacher training officials and the universities, that how did you manage to pass such a person to come and teach? Nana, I rest my case.
Thank you very much for calling. 0302216541. It's a very emotional subject for me, and I think that collectively we must really look at it. We must really look at it, because, folks, it's clear the nation of, a future of any nation depends on its present youth. So you look at the youth, and if you're happy with it, then you're happy with the future. If you're concerned about the youth, you should be concerned about the future, because future will be baby. But it is through no fault of theirs. Folks, it is through no fault of theirs. When a child is going through kindergarten and going through class 1, that early age, they should be confronted with experts. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello, let me hear you.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Nana, I can hear you.
Good. Who am I talking to?
My name is Yao from East Legon.
Yao, let me hear you.
Nana, unfortunately, the first guy who called, I wish you had asked him how many has he employed so far. He would have understood what you were saying more like in a better way. Because if you are employing and then you see people who are coming up, you put an advert for an engineer, and then somebody who will come up and say, I did psychology, I can do what an engineer has to do. Then you see that we are not really equipping people to even look for things, information that is freely available for themselves. So I'm not going to talk too much. I understand what you're saying, and I completely agree with you, Nana. Thank you.
Thank you, too, for listening, and I even thank you for calling. Hello, who's talking to me? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nana.
Yes.
I'm Adam from Kliko.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
Good.
It is very appalling to hear that teachers fail exams. First of all, we should consider the very facts from the universities. The universities train the teachers. And then all the College of Education has been raised to the status of the universities. So let's consider the credibilities of the schools that have been training the teachers. So it means that they are training poor people for the country. They should consider that also. And moreover, I am a teacher, but I'm not discrediting the teachers at the field. But when you go to the classroom, the quality of teachers that we have today is a headache. Some of them will come, you'll see that under 3. Some of them will come, even their lesson note, they can't present the lesson note that they write themselves. So considering all the factors involved, it means that the government must put up the policies that will help train quality teachers for the country. I raise my case. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening to 0302216541. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there aren't any good students in the country, or there aren't any good teachers in the country, or there's nobody in the country that can do a job. No, that's not what I'm saying. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, George is talking to you, Nana.
George, let me hear you.
You see, I think there seems to be a certain wave to condemn education and, for that matter, degrees. A whole lot of people are talking, and now it's been extended to teachers. And I have a double master's degree in management. I'm a fellow of Association of Business Executives UK. You see, ask those who say they are certifying the teachers whether they provided syllabus. See, me, when AB UK want to alter a syllabus, sitting in Ghana, they send me the syllabus and I pass my comment because I'm a fellow. You see, I went, when I first started this, I went. Okay, now, the information they gave by the exam council gave was very, very bad. So I was late to the exam. Eventually, it was being written at Tema. Now, when the exam ended, I asked people, okay, what kind of questions did they ask? And you'll be amazed that people were being, in this age and time, being asked to use slide rule. Slide rule. And now you know slide rule.
Yeah.
The last time I saw one was when I was in Form 3. And I finished O-level in 1981. So how can you be examining teacher, people who have finished university in this age of computation with slide rule? My math teacher, O.T. John Tay, sitting at John Tay's school. Yeah, I don't think he even remembers Pythagoras theorem formula. Adjacent squared, this squared, blah, blah, blah. You see, if somebody has a double master's degree and you are going to evaluate him on slide rule, what kind of output do you expect? It will be failure. Because we don't use slide rule anymore. Those people who say they are evaluating teachers. Me, I was one of the, I registered to write that exam. the one they ask people to calculate with slide rule. You don't then say that because I have a double master's in general management and international business, and I want to teach in a secondary school, then I am blockheaded because I failed to use a slide rule. Ask them whether they have a syllabus for the exam they are conducting. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening. Good evening. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Is that Nana?
It's me. That's Nana. Who am I talking to?
First brother, you are a friend.
Let me hear you.
I want to contribute to this program. You see, our education now, as you are talking about, my father was a teacher. This place, it was the best that would go to training college. That's what he used to tell me. In our case, when we are finishing O-level, then we go to science, medicine, A-level. And then those who couldn't pass marks, and they will go to, we used to call it what? Post-tech or something. Training college. And it's continuing. So we know that those who are going to training college are not the best. We should accept it. There are kids that are best, they are medical doctors, they are engineers, they are this. But the downtrodden, now will go to training college. So we should know that if we want to build like other countries that are building, we have to push the best years to the training college and pay them well so that we can get good teachers. I don't know, the first guy who said, if you want to get 100,000, as you said, 100,000 engineer, where is he going to get from? I'm a general accountant. If you want to employ being a qualified general accountant, you cannot even write a report now, as we used to do. So we should strategize and know how we are going to build for education, rather than what the first guy said. But I'll call you after that. You know, that's the first brother.
Oh. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 0302216541. The education should be fit for purpose. So you look at the country, their history, their culture, where you want it to go, and education directs it. It directs it. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Hello, Nana, good evening.
Good evening. Let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana. Yes, my name is Jones from Nana. Yes. The educational system, the problem of our education today should be placed squarely at the doorstep of the government. Why am I saying so? This government has done a lot in terms of our educational system. He has done a whole lot to spoil our educational system. A government who can buy question papers or pass question papers for our students to learn. A government who, for a political expedient, would always want to achieve a certain number of passes so that they will use it as a political advantage. They are not looking at teaching the children. All they are looking for is how many numbers of children who have passed an examination, then they can use as a cheap political point. This is one of the core of our problem, the worst of our problem today. Now the students don't go to school and learn because the government is ready to leak the papers or to buy them question papers to learn. So the children, right down from the primary level to SS level, they are not learning because government will definitely make them to pass. Then they will use it as a political point. This is one of the fundamental reasons why we are having all these problems. You go to school and the teacher is teaching the children, even the English the teacher is speaking. Nana, you'll be sorry you have sent your child to that school. But what you do? Today you are failing them. And one part of it also is, I'm sure, this number of failure of teachers is also part of the IMF conditionalities.
It's part of the IMF conditionalities. We should look at that too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This document that I keep talking about with regards to 1925, when Goggisberg was, concerning himself about education, one of his, in his speech, one of the things he was saying is that the teacher can only teach what he knows. And therefore, you must make sure that the teacher knows a lot so he can impact. This one says, Nana, firstly, who taught them at the teachers' training colleges? Secondly, what are the levels of their basic education? Did they pass the entry examinations to the training colleges? I have had encounter with a few and it's sad. One couldn't identify a rectangle. I'm sure they get into the training colleges just for the safety, i.e. allowance, free accommodation, and possibly long holidays. Sad state of affairs. This is Nana and Spinkters. Mark Cosby says, come 2024, any presidential aspirant who would say, I will create jobs, you must not be given the mandate. That aspirant is a scammer. Government must create a platform for private business to thrive. Why so many taxes on private businesses? How can we employ or even deliver competitively? As for the teachers, I feel so sorry for them. Which of our teachers can today in Ghana afford to buy a second-hand car for 50,000 Ghana cedis? The government and the governance of this country are still undergoing clinical trials since 1956. Macosby, good evening. And hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, this is Henry, a teacher.
Henry, let me hear you.
About the teacher training Lancashire exams or teachers Lancashire exams. What we should note is that those people under training, after the College of Education or you have been to the university, that is where you come out and then write the Lancashire exam. That will qualify you to teach in the classroom. So those people that have written the exams are not yet teachers. And when I chance on the script, it marvels me because when you go to college, that script will not even fetch you a pass for you to even pass through the education system. So I think they have to look into it and then know the cause of the incident that happened. Because as a teacher, they ask you to write a letter and started by Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. It is very bad. Now, what are you going to teach the kids?
Thank you very much, Henry the teacher. 0302216541. Hello, and who's talking to me?
This is Adam from Georgia.
Adam, let me hear you.
Yeah, please. When it comes to teaching paternity, there is a lot of factors that is influencing or having bad influence on education. The government policies, the teachers also involved, the parents also involved, and then that of the students. So considering all those factors, government should be out of Ghana Education Service. Ghana Education Service should be an independent body, controlled by an individual or controlled by a single individual who will help us develop our education in Ghana. Because the influence from the government is too much. Students vacate 2 days, 3 days, and then they are back to school. Students vacate 3 months, and then they are in the house doing nothing. So we should consider the factors involved when it comes to development of education. Good evening, Anna.
Good evening. It's really time to hit the reset button. It's really time to start hearing the policies of how we're really going to shape education. And it's time for us to demand that, look, Jack, Flagstaff House, what plan do you have for education? The median age are probably all in school now. create jobs. Yet no one has the skill. I'll send them to school, but the teacher is not well equipped. Some of them not by choice, and that's what's available. So if the teacher, him or herself, is not brave enough to read outside of the box, then the status quo remains. And the old colonial mentality that makes us Europeans after we have finished education stands. But today, only God knows how I was able to do this show. Yesterday, I lost a very, very dear auntie, or in Akano, because I remember Miketoa. Janua Versen. She stood by me all throughout the Dumasar for the last 13 years. Got a call last night. Said she passed. Condolences to you, Hans Versen. Rest in peace, Auntie Janua Versen. Condolences to myself and all the family. And Uncle Ken Ade is our family head, believe it or not. So Uncle Ken Ade, Ode on Sempo, Yina Yindue. If I were you, I would not touch this dial. Because News Bulletin is being brought to you by the ever-exciting Noella. And if you see the enthusiasm and the commitment to give you the News Bulletin, you won't even touch that dial. Abeku was on the ones and twos. Sammy Forzen, Kofi Hayford is in a sharp suit. Kofi Hayford is in a sharp suit. So I said, brother, are you getting married? I said, no, I'm not. I said, wow. So stay tuned. Folks, until the lions have their own historians, tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. I am Nanan Sakwa, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa. God willing, Monday we'll be back to do this all over again.